Hello everyone, welcome back. How are you guys? Have been enjoying the game quite a bit. Um, I did just recently work on a massive 40,000 megawatt power plant here. That's complete. Power is extremely stable at 42,400 megawatts, 40,000 of it being from just the power plant, basically using fuel generators, and then 2,400 is the coal power plant, which is right over there. So pretty awesome. um, so since then, I have been working to expand my factory. So before I proceed to the next phase or unlock any milestone, I just wanted to complete automation of every single part which is available here. So I have quite a bit of stuff. I need to do some automation of SAM stuff. I also need to do automation of heavy modular frames, circuit boards, high-speed connectors, computers, and all of that. So once these are done, it's done. Of course, I won't be automating smokeless powder, pulse novelist, and stuff like that. But after that, it's just the space elevator parts, which is like the end of it. First of all, let me just remove fog. Nice. Okay, this looks a lot better. So I have been working on stuff, and for every single part before I build a factory, I'm usually making it as a blueprint over there and using the blueprint to build my factories, because blueprints will act as my foundation for the entire factory setup for the future. In the next phase, the parts are a lot more complex. I need a lot more starter materials to build the final product, which means that blueprints will help a lot. So I don't want to spend time making blueprints then. So I'm just making blueprints right now. So let's see. So if I come to blueprints over here, I have a circuit board blueprint, I have a crystal oscillator blueprint, heavy modular frame, high speed connector. So every single one of these, I already have a blueprint. And these blueprints are extremely simple, means that every single one of these takes in raw materials. It doesn't take like iron ingots, iron plates, like none of the intermediaries. It's just raw resource like titanium ore, raw resource, like raw quartz, and then it just gives me circuit boards. Sorry, this needs to be equal to, it's not plus. I will change that, but yeah. And heavy modular frames, for example, 75 limestone, 190 iron ore gives me one heavy modular frame. And every single one of these is like perfectly balanced, so that I don't need to worry about balancing anymore once I use the blueprint. So yeah, every single one of these is just raw resource, which is perfect. Extremely simple blueprints, extremely flexible. I can put them however I want, wherever I want, and the numbers are pretty simple, means that this gives me one heavy modular frame. So most of the late game things need like 3, 4, 10 heavy modular frames. So I'll just plop 10 of these down, and that should be it. This is 2 crystal oscillator. This gives 9 circuit boards. This gives 3 3 high speed connectors. Sorry. Oh, that's probably, yeah. That gives me 3 high-speed connectors. That's not 3 circuit boards. That's 3 high-speed connectors. So yeah, with that, I used those blueprints and I expanded this base. So initially it was just cable, right? Like this is cable. There were some, what is that? This one. So that's, what is that? Copper sheets. Okay, I forgot the name. So those are copper sheets and stuff like that. So using that, I just expanded this base. There was already being the crystal oscillators being done over here. So I just used that, expanded the base. I made a computer factory setup over here. So I have all the computers. There are circuit boards are being made. There are high-speed connectors. There are even heavy modular frame. So every single one of the resources is already automated. It's all perfectly balanced. That's the most important thing. I really like balancing stuff. So yeah, unless it's perfectly balanced, I hate the system. So every single one of these is perfectly balanced, and it's pretty nice. All the blueprints are pretty simple, especially computers, circuit boards and stuff are pretty simple. The heavy modular frame though, that's a different issue. So let's take a quick look at heavy modular frame blueprint. There is one thing though, I was a bit disappointed that I built this blueprint and then I realized there is so much space left. The 5 by 5 by 5 blueprint designer is extremely huge. It's like twice the amount of volume that you get from 4 by 4 by 4. So it's nearly twice, or it's more than twice. It's a little bit more than twice the amount of volume you get from the previous blueprint designer. So it's a massive upgrade. So I was still under the assumption that I will have to, make it as concise as possible. If not, I won't have enough space for the blueprint, etc. That's how I did in my previous playthrough, like early access, like update 7, update 6. That's when I played, right? So that's how I made the blueprint over then. And at that point, it was 4 by 4 by 4, the blueprint designer. And my heavy modular frame blueprint was nearly up to the edge. And it was like snug fit into a 4 by 4 by 4 blueprint designer. But that's not the case over here. There's so much space. After I built this, I was like, oh my God, I could have gone a little bit easier on this blueprint. I could have left some space, made it look a lot cooler and stuff, but I think this looks even more cooler. Everything is so snug fit that there's literally no space left with how it is built, which is also pretty cool. It's a different type of cool, I guess. So what is this blueprint though? So this blueprint, if I take a look at this, it takes in 75 limestone, 190 iron ore, and just gives heavy modular frame. And this is perfectly balanced, and I'm quite proud of this, by the way. So I used this blueprint, this recipe, sorry. I did not use this one because this uses rubber, and rubber I cannot always guarantee it because I need oil to make this, and that's a completely different setup which I don't want to get into right now, so I just left it. This is a default recipe and it's extremely inefficient. I can't explain how inefficient it is with the amount of resources it uses. But the last recipe, this is awesome. This is an awesome recipe. It used the minimum amount of resources to get the maximum amount of stuff. So I did this, and these are the numbers that I used to make this. So I'm making one heavy modular frame by underclocking it massively. And when I'm underclocking it, for example, it uses very less power. Like it's not 55, it's like linearly varying, so it's a lot less than 20 megawatts, I think. So it uses very less power. So this blueprint will use very, very less power because everything is underclocked. And I'm also making sure I never overclock these. But if you see this, if you see the resources being used over there, there are no power shards. I'm not overclocking even a single stuff. If there is a machine which needs 150% overclock, I'll just build 2 machines, each at 75% overclocked. Sorry, 75% underclocked. So I'm using less power. I'm using roughly the same power when you overclock versus underclock because I'm using 2 machines, right? But I'm not using any power shards. That's one thing which I want always kept in mind. Like I won't have power shards every single time with me, so then I'll have to come back, I'll have to farm power slugs and all of that, which I don't like. So everything is always doesn't use power shards. So that's one thing. So these are the 2 inputs. So the first input is like concrete. The second input is iron. Those are the only 2 things that it needs. So concrete goes here. All of these are like perfectly balanced. Iron comes here. These are all like perfectly balanced, right? Everything is underclocked, which is awesome. And then it comes here. It turns into ingots. I can't really explain it because even I'm confused looking at all of this now. But when I built it, it's all perfectly balanced. And I mean, I understand how it works, but it's difficult to explain all of this when it's so snug fit and I can't really see what's happening, right? But in just iron comes here, gets converted into iron ingots, lots of iron ingots. This iron ingot gets converted to steel pipe using an alternate recipe. The other part gets converted to iron plate. The other part gets converted to wire using the iron wire alternate recipe. Now, wire is done, steel plates are done, steel pipes are done. This steel pipe is specific for, there are 2 different places where steel pipes are made. This is one part, there is another part above, but I have made sure each of these is enough. Like for example, this 12 steel pipe is coming over here and going above directly into this manufacturer. So here, if we see, it needs 12 steel pipes. So this final heavy modular frame steel pipe is being built over here. So there is no wastage. There is nothing like this needs to combine with anything else to make to get enough steel pipe. Nothing like that is happening. So, and this iron plate and wire is going into this assembler to make reinforced iron plates. And then over here, it's more iron ingot, etc. So that iron ingot, everything is coming up. There is even more iron ingot, by the way. And this is the other part of steel pipe, which is actually going over here to make modular frames. It used the reinforced iron plate, which happened at the bottom floor, and it's using the steel pipe, which is happening over here, and it's making modular frames. If you see, there is like 9 steel pipe that it needs, but I'm making 10, right? It's just because I can make this exactly 9. Yes, like I can make this 19 iron ore, like 19 iron ingot. 19? No, 18. It needs 36 iron ingots, I think, to make 9 steel pipes. I can make it perfectly, but I just kept it a little bit higher. I don't care that much. Like, it's like less than 1%, right? So it's fine. But this one, but every single one of these will run at 100% efficiency. Even this will run at 100% efficiency. And then this is encased industrial beams, which needs 3.3333 recurring industrial, which will make so many. That's what it needs. That's what this thing needs, right? 3.333 recurring. So I'm just making 3.34, which should be perfect. Concrete is being brought from down there. And then there's steel pipe over here, which is directly coming in here. So which is perfect. And concrete, part of it is going upstairs. No, both of it is going upstairs. So part of it, I think, is coming in here. Yes, concrete. The other part is going in here to make encased industrial beams. Finally, output of everything is going into this heavy encased frames. That's the alternate recipe being used. Basically makes one heavy modular frame. Output comes there. So I will agree that it's a complex system if you just look at it like this, because it is snug fit. But technically speaking, it's a simple blueprint. Nothing too complex. Everything is being underclocked to make sure everything is perfectly balanced. And it's just taking a raw resources and giving the final product. So in the future, when I'm building massive factories, I don't have to worry too much about balancing stuff. I don't have to worry too much about bringing in iron ingots and stuff like that. All I need to do is directly put in iron ore and I get the final product. Easy. And that blueprint is being used here. This is another tip. One tip for anyone using blueprints. Whenever you build a blueprint over there, use that blueprint and make a factory immediately. Do not remove your blueprint from the blueprint designer. Instead, just come here. I just built it and feed in the resources. Make sure everything is working. Make sure all the belts are connected. You haven't missed anything. And once you see that everything is working at like 100% efficiency or whatever that is required, right? It's like these are 100%. This is 100%. Yeah. The final product is what's needed. Like these can be at 91% efficiency. That's totally fine. These are 90%. That's fine. But the final product should be 100% efficient, so that this is that 100% efficiency. So yeah, so everything is perfect. Make sure everything is perfect. And if not, go back to your blueprint and quickly fix it. Because there were quite a bit of issues. Basically, I had forgotten to put a belt over here, right? Simple stuff like that makes massive difference. When you build multiple of these blueprints in the future, it's difficult to fix every single one of those over there. Instead, just fix this individual one, go back to your blueprint, fix that, and you should be good. There were lots of changes, lots of things that I need to do. I had forgotten to power something, I had forgotten to put a belt somewhere, etc. So all of that, sometimes you will even forget to put a recipe in some of these, right? So all of that, go back to your blueprint, fix it. But yeah, this is my final factory. It's looking awesome. I really like this. This is one of the most complex blueprints I have built so far. But because the blueprint designer is so huge right now, I'm even thinking of making even advanced components like completely in blueprints. But let's see how it goes. I'm not sure. But yeah, this is looking pretty good. With that, I think I have automated every single part. I don't think there is even a single part that is left to automate. I have automated everything. And now I'll be moving on to some MAM upgrades, MAM research and all of that. And once that is done, it's next phase time. Oh my god, I'm excited.